you're both exactly right on the points that you made, and I think that when we bring those together and bring in other relevant stuff, that what you end up with is like, yeah, what are the options open to her? Like, yeah, she could just like hit out there with basically the truth, which I think the four of us would roughly agree on, not 100%. Would like she could come out with that, but yeah, because you said that's not going to be necessarily practical or desirable to just like hammer on Obama or on Biden. In any number of ways like that. There's a lot of goals that does not serve. So she could do what she did here, this mealy mouthed like bullshit largely, right? I mean, some of what she said was fine, but a lot of it was bullshit, was dishonest, was like misdirection, was like if you tried to pin her down, like, wait, do you actually mean this? Like, really? You think that? Like, she doesn't. Like, or she shouldn't, or we don't. I don't know, but there's different ways to parse that out. But here is another way that I think it could be played: that someone roughly in her position, like someone on the left, but in the game and trying to work with libs and trying to, you could say you could be a lot more honest, give your audience a lot more credit, at least some of them. I mean, giving this credit might not be accurate, but this is an option at least to like, no, okay, let's talk to like adults and acknowledge that we have some principled differences. Like, no, there are some things I think he's wrong on. There's some things I think he did wrong. Like, you don't have to deny that. Like, but you can also say, like, point to areas of agreement, areas of like necessary cooperation, and you can just be more accurate. Like, you don't have to lie. Like, you can come away with a similarly like conciliatory, like practical bottom line without lying.
Right.
I wish they would talk more about the
So,
corruption, though.
right.
Like
And
they would say,
Mm-hmm.
the insurance companies were heavily involved in
yeah, that would have been
the
something that
process.
I think would have been good to throw into like the insurance companies with the stuff with Obama directly though. I mean, I think she doesn't want to touch that wire where it's like, okay, anything that will get amplified, which yeah, it's not how things were, and I think and she knows that. And I think and it pisses off a lot of people up on the left because she goes out and says this kind of stuff. But for
Yeah.
me, rhetorically, the stuff doesn't really bother me. What bothers me is
No,
if
but
she,
the thing is,
it,
stuff like that, like I said, that's a different statement than saying just mindless platitudes.
right,
That statement saying giving Obama credit for policies he didn't do for a man that he wasn't in office is bad because it keeps the libs with that mentality that like Obama was great and the corporate Democrats are all great and we
right,
should love and
yeah,
support them and it's just the Republicans who keep us from accomplishing anything.
yeah,
It's bad for a number of reasons, right? It's
right,
bad for what
but
it
isn't it also
allows in the
isn't it
Democratic
also
Party,
good
in the
for those
American
same
political
reasons?
system more broadly.
No,
But
Hmm?
it's not good.
why?
We need people to demand more from Democrats.
Yeah,
That's the
But
issue.
see,
absolutely.
look, if it's exactly what I said with live voters. If you go and placate to them and say, "Oh, yeah, Obama was great," then they're gonna think you're great because of affiliation. Be like, "Oh, AOC likes Obama, so I like her now." It's really
It's
that
not. Yeah,
stupid.
She
it
could have
doesn't have to
had.
be that
I mean,
cartoonishly
she
simple,
should
though.
have
We can
said
give a
one
little more
nice thing
credit.
about him,
We can give
and
a
then
little more
three mean
credit. We can be a
things.
little more nuanced. We can be a little more precise. We can like drag people toward thinking in a little more. It's not, the world is not all good guys and bad guys. Then the
She
good
should
guys
have
do
been giving
all
him
only
credit
nice
like
things, and the
Kyle
bad
does.
guys do
You
all only
know,
mean things. And it's all
she
very
should have
clear and
given him
simple. Like,
credit
no, we
for
can
like.
drag people toward reality and
Right, and I
give
mean
them something a
that's
little more
ideally that's
complex.
what you want to do, but in practicality, how okay if she does that, if she even does what you say, will you go out there and find live voters that have a problem with what she says?
I mean, they have a problem with her anyway for saying anything for that mild criticism. The same people who are going to find that offensive are going to find anything, you know, their analysis is very flawed to begin with because they
Yeah,
think Obama's great. But on top
right.
of that, if they're the type of people that take offense to you saying, "Oh, he left much to be desired," like
Yeah, which
that's
I mean, which still she did interject some mild criticism in there, and
Right, like he's saying that will be enough to piss them off anyway.
yeah.
yeah, but I
If
mean,
she
Anything
but
other
then
than unalloyed praise, other than like just
yeah,
flag
that's how
waving.
they
He's my
are.
team. He's my president.
It's like some
Whatever.
idiot was yelling at me tonight because I'm like, no, yeah, I mean, I would vote for Biden in a swing state, but I'm in Chicago, so it doesn't really matter.
God, I
And he
voted
was
for that
like,
motherfucker from
he
Argentina. I
he
voted
went,
for that motherfucker from
but he went
Argentina.
all
I had to
into like
pay FedEx
blue
and
and non,
oh,
like, oh,
and it was
you're just a
disgusting. It
Moscow
just burned.
bot
It
or some
burned to do
shit.
it. But
Like,
yeah.
like, you have to, man. I think absentee voted in Ohio. So like, yeah, please.
The, see
they don't
the bigger
understand
thing
anything. It's
I mean,
like,
the bigger thing is though AOC gets into a different position where she has more political capital and she can afford to say what she really thinks, I think you're going to see her say things that are more in line with her policy beliefs. By that point,
Okay,
yeah.
I want to comment on that kind of dynamic. I mean, I don't know. I think we got to be like really skeptical of that idea of like compromising stuff for a while until you get more power to then, you know, come back out with your real goals or your real beliefs.
Well,
like,
when it comes
like, of course you can make a case for that, and maybe sometimes it is done
Right.
well, maybe sometimes it is
When-
needed, but like as a general rule, I say no, fuck that.
Yeah,
Like, be
when it-
honest from the start, be tactful,
Right.
be strategic, but be
Mhm.
honest, be real.
Right. So from that standpoint, what I mean there is if it's just rhetorically, if she starts compromising on her policy goals before she actually gets into a position of power, then that's where I would have a problem as well. You stick to
Okay,
who
okay,
you
you would
are.
draw a sharp distinction between the
Yeah.
rhetoric and the like concrete
Yeah.
actions.
Yes, exactly.
That's fair. That's
So, I
fair.
mean,
I'm not sure I would,
so-
but like I think that's a fair place.
I know
to...
you said that that's a different thing, Matt. But look, if she goes and calls Pelosi Mama Bear, but then endorses a progressive candidate while Pelosi endorses the neo-lib, I don't care. Call her Mama
Sure.
Bear. Do it.
Sure. In that case, I agree with you.
It's
Yeah.
different though. Like I said, I'm only concerned about this because
And-
it's strategically. I think it's bad. You know, that's it.
But there's okay, wait. Can we draw? I think there's a few distinctions here, right? You could draw the distinction between calling her Mama Bear and who you endorse. And I think we can draw the further distinction between calling her Mama Bear and between saying what she said about Biden or about
Don't
Obama.
like her whitewashing
calling her-
Obama. It's bad.
No. And we
Yeah,
can
she
we can
absolutely
talk about them the
is.
same way, but I think we can meaningfully distinguish between them because calling her Mama Bear that's purely social, purely signaling. Like there's no lie there.
She
Right.
could have said he was a
Versus-
nice man without giving like critiques.
Exactly. That's part of the
She should have said like I said, said one or two nice things about him,
right.
and then said, you know, these were his shortcomings. Like
Right.
I would have preferred that.
And
but, like,
even you can
I'm not
soft
gonna get
pedal even
mad
more
about
while
it.
still
Mm-hmm.
being honest. You can like circumscribe it and just say like in a sentence or half a sentence, like artfully, like that he was wrong on a ton of shit and was a war criminal. Like you could probably with some thought convey that very gently and like but like that's miles away from what she was choosing to try.
I thought in the interview though she mentioned some of the mistakes as far as foreign policy goes, that the progressive goals were not met. So
but she's just to say it that way. The goals were not met. Are you fucking? We're talking about children blown to pieces. That's not goals.
Yeah.
double tap, man.
yeah, I
Use
know,
double tap her.
no, but it's soft criticism, and you look, I.
But no, I think that's like too fundamentally dishonest. Like that is like that. No, fuck that.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
a single issue
it's
voter,
just
and I only
that
vote for double tappers.
Yeah, right. Well, good. Then you don't have.
No,
That's
I
why
mean,
I would vote for
what I'm
Obama
saying,
third
though,
time.
is
Exactly,
I agree,
exactly.
It's incredibly soft rhetoric, and it's not what I.
But how
would
do you
like
choose
her
when
to
so
say.
many times both candidates would qualify?
They should put Obama on the Supreme Court.
Fuck, that might happen. Who was the former president who served on the court? Was it McKinley?
Let me ask you all a
McKinley
question.
died,
Though.
he got
Okay,
shot.
so
Yeah, he did.
so
Probably
okay,
wasn't him.
okay, so if she says, like, say she's running for president or something, and then she says, during one of her campaign things, like,
Who
you
is
know, what
the
do we-
former U.S. president who served on the Supreme Court?
William Taft.
Oh, nice. Yep.
There you go.
William Howard Taft.
Ohio,
Here's a
right?
summary from the
That
White
one.
House.
Well, he was Teddy Roosevelt's VP, and then he
Yeah.
left. Teddy Roosevelt stepped down, thinking
Did
Taft
Teddy
was
put
gonna
him on?
continue. Well, no.
Who put him on the court?
No, because Teddy was president before Taft. So what happened was
This Chapo guy would be like crying to hear our like clumsy. He just told me about like the historian genius at Chapo. I haven't really like caught up on their stuff yet, but I would love to have that kind of historical knowledge. I clearly do not. Clearly do not yet.
This
Right?
is what happened-
Or
this is
will
what happened
not
with that.
anytime
So
soon.
Teddy Roosevelt was president. He ran. The first time he
Bull
became,
Moose Party.
Right. No, that was the. So this is what happened. So he became president.
Remember when Teddy
after,
Roosevelt got shot in the middle of a speech?
Yeah, and then he kept talking and he finished his speech.
And
but,
he said, "I'm not sure if you all realize that I've just been shot, but I will now finish this speech."
Derringer.
Well, this is what happened. So Teddy Roosevelt was the youngest president because McKinley died in office and he took the presidency.
Right,
So then after
right.
that, he won an election, and then he didn't run for a re-election, even though
Right.
he was entitled to. And then he left Taft in charge, thinking he was going to continue doing things his way, and he completely sold out. and didn't do anything. So
Then
when
Taft, he
so
stopped
then Taft
hunting the
ran
buffalo.
against
He stopped
Woodrow
murdering
Wilson, and Woodrow Wilson ended up winning because Teddy Roosevelt ran third party as a Bull Moose candidate. and split the
Oh
vote.
shit! Okay, yeah.